Hi everyone, and welcome to today's online tutorial. In our previous video on descriptive statistics part 1, we talked about mean, median, mode, and range. Today, we'll be looking at the topic quartile. Then we'd say, what are quartiles? Quartiles are points, that is, values that divide an ordered list of numbers. By definition, a very quick example will make you understand what we are talking about. So we're going to look at an example. So this question, the table shows the number of coronavirus survivors. Find the first quartile, the second quartile, the third quartile, and the interquartile range. If you recall the definition of quartile, which says points or values that are ordered by division, okay? So they are ordered. So the first thing is, in our focus table here, we are looking at the coronavirus survivors. So you first have to order the numbers. By order, it means in ascending order. So if we write in ascending order from the smallest to the biggest, the first number, the smallest number, is on day 5, that is 90. And let's look at the next number after 90. It seems to be 125, so that is on day 9. So we have 125. The next number after 125 is 130, which happens on day 10. So we have 130. And so you continue till you get to the highest number. And that is the 8 gives us the highest value, which is 250. So now you have the numbers ordered. The numbers are ordered. Okay? So now, what is the first thing? If you are looking for quartiles, the very first thing to do for your ordered number is find what we call the median. That is, where do we have the middle value? So you have to divide this data into two halves. Okay, so we have 11 data value here. So the middle value should be, if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this appears to be the middle value, which is 170. So that middle value is what we call the second quartile. Our second quartile, which can be written as Q2, take note. So our Q2, the second quartile for this data, which is the median, is 170. Now, next, how do we find the first quartile and the third quartile? Now, take note, I haven't divided this data into two halves, which we have 170 as the middle value. This is the middle. All the values before the median, the middle value, is what we call the lower half. Okay, and all the values after the median or the middle value or the second quarter is what we call the upper half. Okay, so here is the question. How do you now find what we call the first quarter? Remember, the first quartile, which is also called Q1, is the median of the lower half. Look at the lower half, we have 90, 125, 130, 150, and 155. So what is the middle of these numbers? These are 5 numbers, yeah? Okay, so the middle is 130. This is the middle. Okay, the third value, 1, 2, 1, 2. So the middle value is 130, and that is your first quartile. Next, we need to find the third quartile. The third quartile is the middle value in the upper half. In the upper half, the middle value. There are also 5 values here. So the middle value of these 5 values is the third one. You see, 1, 2. 1, 2, so that is 195. Okay, that's 195, the third quartile or Q3. So the next thing, this is very easy, is how do you find the interquartile range? Interquartile range is the difference between the third quartile and the first quartile. And that is, in this case, we have 195 minus 130. And that's going to give us 65, which is the interquartile range. So don't forget, in summary, it's very simple. When you have a set of data, so first you have to divide the data into 2 parts. You have to divide the data into 2 parts. So you have a set of data. First, divide. This is one end, this is another end. Divide the data into 2 parts. So this is the middle, or what we call the second quartile. Okay, the next thing is from this part to this part is what we call the lower half. So for the lower half, what you do again is divide it into 2 parts. So the middle of the lower half is your first quartile. From the original middle, which is the second quartile, to the end value here is what we call the upper half. Okay, so you're dividing the upper half into 2 parts. Its middle is what we call the third quartile, and that is that on quartiles. I hope you understand. Rewind back, watch again, and try to lay your hands on some examples. I wish you all the best. Please kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel, Prof Dan Tutorials. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye bye.